Huawei P30 Pro is an engineering marvel when it comes to cameras. Huawei did not send me a review unit, but that was not going to stop me from getting it myself and making this video for you. Hey guys, it's Sagar from TechWorks, and this is my detailed camera review of the Huawei P30 Pro. I didn't want to post this video just a few days after getting the P30 Pro, as the initial few days are full of excitement of getting a new device and the hype created by all the marketing. So I spent a few weeks with this phone and let the hype and excitement settle down before proceeding with this video. Then there was all the drama involving Google cancelling Huawei's Android license due to Trump's ban. But now that all the dust is settling down and it looks like things might get back to normal for Huawei, I think it's okay for me to go ahead with this video. There are a lot of cameras and camera related tech on this phone, so this video is going to be a bit long, but make sure you stick till the end because I have a lot of image and video samples to share. Before moving on, if you are new to this channel, please take a few moments to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. That way, you won't miss out on any of the amazing videos coming up on this channel. Starting with the specs. Primary camera has a 40 megapixel sensor with f1.6 aperture, 27mm lens, and this camera is optically stabilized. By default, this camera captures 10 megapixel images which use pixel binning to combine information from 4 pixels into 1 pixel, making the overall image sharper and more detailed. You can change the resolution to 40 megapixels from the settings, but I won't suggest doing that as it only increases the file size, and even if you zoom in, it is hard to notice any difference between the images. Then there is this 20 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture and 16mm ultra-wide angle lens. After that, we have the most interesting 8 megapixel periscope camera with f3.4 aperture and a 125mm lens, which gives us roughly 5x optical zoom compared to the primary camera. This camera is optically stabilized, which makes it even easier to capture distant objects clearly. While all the cameras on the P30 Pro are really good, I find this periscope camera to be the most interesting one, as Huawei has managed to put an actual periscope in a smartphone which is so thin. The actual camera sensor is placed somewhere along the top middle part of the phone, and they use a prism to bounce the light captured by the camera opening through the lenses and then on the camera sensor. It is just an amazing piece of tech. And last but not the least, we also have a 3D time of flight camera at the back, which for some reason is placed separate from the main camera cluster below the dual LED flash. This time of flight camera might be small, but it lets you take amazing videos where your subject is in color and everything else around them is black and white. Or videos like this where your subject is in focus and everything else around them is blurred out. It's like having portrait mode for videos. There are few more effects that you can apply to your videos, but what's most impressive is all of these features are applied in real time, so you can see how the video is going to turn out as you are capturing it. At the front, you get a 32 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture. It's a fixed focus camera and it will let you capture 1080p videos at 30 fps. While we are on the topic of videos, rear camera lets you shoot 4K videos in 30 fps, but that is the highest frame rate for 4K videos and there is no 4K 60 fps mode. You can switch the lenses before or even while you are shooting 4K videos. 5x videos are captured by the telephoto lens only if there is ample light. If the light is low, P30 Pro just captures video from the primary lens and crops in 5 times, making the video look very grainy. 1080p 30 fps videos get gyro electronic stabilization, making them very stable. Low light videos from the primary camera are also good, where the camera manages to capture much more light compared to the competing smartphones. 1080p slow motion videos are only available at 120 fps. They are good, but it would have been great to have 240 fps slow motion videos at this resolution. If you want 240 fps, resolution drops down to 720p, which doesn't really look good. You can also shoot 960 fps super slow motion videos in 720p, which again don't look very good. Huawei uses interpolation to add in the missing frames in between, and results are not very impressive. With the videos covered early on, let us now move to the image samples. Starting with the daylight images, primary camera captures a lot of information in these 10 megapixel shots. As I've mentioned before, the default mode downsamples 40 megapixel images to 10 megapixel ones using pixel binning, and this gives us sharper images with lot of details. These images hold their details even as we zoom in on them. For the most part, colors are accurate. There is an AI scene detection mode, which sometimes oversaturates some of the colors, as it did in this shot. When I pointed the camera at this scene, the camera detected that there was a lot of sky in it and decided to saturate the blue color. The image still looks good, but the sky is way off compared to the actual scene. Some people might like how popped up the colors of the scene are, and some of you may not, it totally depends on your color preference. You get multiple focal lengths while shooting on this phone. This is a luxury feature which was almost exclusive to interchangeable lens cameras. Here is the same shot with the 16mm wide lens, 27mm normal lens and the 125mm 5x telephoto lens. And here are a few more examples of the same scene captured at 3 different focal lengths. The 5x zoom is all optical, so the image quality is good given plenty of light. But there is a big shift in color and white balance when we switch the lenses. More consistent colors from all the lenses would have looked much better. There is also a 10x hybrid zoom option which combines 5x optical zoom and digital zoom to form a 10x zoomed image, which still looks pretty good. You can digitally zoom in even further, all the way up to 50x, which sounds crazy for a smartphone camera. But there is some serious noise in these images and they are rarely sharp. Since it is a very long focal length, you need to be very stable if you want to get a usable shot. These are handheld 50x shots and you can see how blurry they are. And now here is the same 50x handheld shot of the moon. And just look at how awesome and sharp it is. I didn't even use the night mode to capture this image. How can the daylight images shot at 50x digital zoom be so blurry and shot of the moon at night be so sharp? Well, in the past, Huawei has been known to cheat or mislead on many occasions when it comes to smartphone cameras. They have used images shot with DSLR cameras and tried to pass them on as images shot with their smartphone, which was just wrong. This time, they came up with some new clever way. It turns out, Huawei is using data from thousands and thousands of high-resolution images of moon and superimposing the matching parts of those images onto the images that we take with this phone to make the moon appear sharper, and this is very misleading. This is another image of the moon at 30x. I shot this image before the phone's AI can recognize it as a moon. And here is the same image after it recognizes that it is the moon. I would say if you are zooming in digitally, 10x is the sweet spot. You can even go as far as 20x and still retain a few details, but above that, I feel the images become unusable unless you have a tripod to rest the phone and hold it steady. Not taking anything away from Huawei, because I'm sure figuring out a way to put 50x zoom on a smartphone needs an amazing fleet of engineers. But I think 50x digital zoom is just a proof of concept that it can be done on a smartphone. And I won't recommend you guys use it or don't get too excited about it if you are planning on getting this phone. With that out of the way, here are a few images shot with the primary camera showing the dynamic range that P30 Pro offers. It does well to bring up the shadows in the darker parts of the scene, but in some of the cases, it overexposes the highlights in doing so. While it is good in HDR situations like these, if I had the option, I will still be using the iPhone XS or the Pixel 3 for capturing these particular images. Coming to the close-up shots, this is one of my most favorite features of the P30 Pro. The subject that you are trying to capture is in perfect sharp focus, and thanks to the very wide f1.6 aperture, the background is nicely blurred out. Now I have not seen many people talk about it, but there is a super macro mode on the P30 Pro which lets you get extremely close to your subject and capture sharp macro shots. This is how far a normal phone will let you be from a subject and set the focus. But with the P30 Pro, you can get so much more closer that you can see the actual pixel pattern of this display. And here is another good looking macro shot. If you are into macro photography, Huawei P30 Pro is the phone to get. If you have the Master AI turned on, whenever you point your phone towards people, this phone will automatically switch to the portrait mode. And I like this because I almost always use the portrait mode whenever I have people in the shot. It does a great job of detecting edges and separating the subject from background. The subject or person you are trying to capture is a bit softer in these portrait shots, even when I have the beauty mode turned off. And there is a lot of contrast in these images, making them look very processed. And it also completely blew the highlights in these portrait shots, and this is one of the reasons why I feel the cameras on the P30 Pro are a bit inconsistent and unreliable in some situations. Heading over to the aperture mode, it can take portrait mode images of objects, and again it is good at detecting the edges and separating your subject from the background. In these images, contrast levels are well maintained and the colors are also more natural, which means the camera struggles a bit only when you have people in the shot. Now let's come to the lower and artificial lighting situations where the P30 Pro leaps ahead of its competition. These are normal low light images captured in the auto mode, and just look at how much light and details the P30 Pro manages to capture. These images are not shot in night mode, but still see the amount of light in them. That's how good this phone is as soon as the light goes down. The image sensor in the primary camera uses a new red, yellow, yellow, blue sensor instead of the traditional red, green, green, blue one. And this helps the P30 Pro be 40% more sensitive to the light. The wider f1.6 aperture also helps in letting in more light in these situations, And the optical image stabilization makes sure that the images are not blurred even if the shutter remains open for a slightly longer time. All of this means this phone can take phenomenal images in lower light. You can also use the telephoto and wide lenses in these situations. There is a bit more noise in the images shot with these lenses, as these cameras are not using the new type of sensor. You also get a night mode, which will take some time to capture as it is stacking up multiple images shot at various exposure and delivers some insanely sharp bright images in lower light. Now this image from the auto mode in itself is pretty good, considering that there was barely any light. But just look at the image with the night mode turned on. This phone is just excellent in low light scenarios, and I can't wait to test it out against the previous night mode champion Pixel 3 in one of my next videos. That brings us to the front facing camera. The 32 megapixel selfie camera gives you good looking detailed shots, but since it's a fixed focus camera, you might have a bit of difficulty focusing if there are multiple people in the shot. There is an HDR mode for the selfie camera, but I feel that the dynamic range it offers should have been a bit better. This is more apparent while taking portrait selfies. Dynamic range of the selfie camera just takes a dive in these situations and it just overexposes the highlights. It does a decent job with edge detection but still misses out certain parts of hair, so there is definitely some room for improvements via software updates. I don't use it at all, but if you do, there is a beauty mode for both the front and rear facing cameras. Here's a video from the front facing camera of the Huawei P30 Pro. You can see how it handles the overall colors of the scene, exposure and stabilization when I'm walking around with it. So after looking at all the image and video samples, it is clear that the Huawei P30 Pro is a beast when it comes to low light photography. It can also take very sharp images in daylight, and having multiple focal lengths on a smartphone is just a cherry on the cake. I think 50x digital zoom is not very good right now, so you should stick to 10x hybrid zoom for sharper images. It also does well while shooting videos, but the lack of 4K 60fps might be concerning for some of you guys. I also feel that the slow motion videos should have been much better from this phone, and to be honest, it is also not very good while capturing images with people in them. I'm not sure if the last part could be fixed via software update, but if it can, then the P30 Pro will be one of the best cameras out there. Now this Huawei P30 Pro is not cheap, and at this price, you have a few more options to choose from. So right now, is it any better, worse or same as the cameras on the Pixel 3, iPhone XS Max or the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus? To find this out, I am working on a mega camera comparison between these phones. That video should answer which one of these has the best set of cameras. So turn on your notifications for this channel because you don't want to miss that video when it comes out. I hope this video was helpful and it gave you all of the information that you wanted about each and every camera on this Huawei P30 Pro. If you are planning on getting this phone, I will really appreciate if you get it from the affiliate link in the description section. It helps the channel a lot at no extra cost to you. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.